Namaste. Many a times in life we face failures. If you are doing a job, it may happen that at some stage you may become jobless. If you are doing business, it may happen that you may face a lot of challenges and failures. And then a time comes when you feel frustrated, you feel depressed, you feel as if you should give up, and that is the time when you should actually not give up. And so in this podcast, I'm sharing a beautiful story, a real story of a great freedom fighter, Lokamanya Tilak. Lokamanya was not his real name. His real name was Keshav Gangadhar Tilak. But he was addressed as Lokamanya. Lokamanya means a leader who has been accepted by his people. Lokamanya. So tune in to this podcast, and I'm sure this story will motivate you to not to give up. Always remember, when you are about to give up, that is the time when you should not give up. You have to be patient and you have to keep going, because time keeps changing. Nothing lasts forever, neither the good times nor the bad times. Life is constant change. Accept change, everything else changes. Life is a constant change. So if you are going through some difficult phase of life, if you are facing depression, frustration, if somebody has cheated you, because there are many cheaters all around, many cheats and many frauds, still don't give up. And this motivational story will definitely help you to keep going. So let's begin.
Lokamanya Tilak, one of the finest and greatest freedom fighter, who was fondly called as Tilak Maharaj. And there is a beautiful story to share. Once it happened. Lokamanya Tilak was spending his days in prison. The Britishers had sent him to jail, for he was the most dangerous rebel, and the Britishers were afraid that if we let this lion give a free hand, then he may simply throw us out of power. And so the Britishers put Tilak Maharaj in jail. But even in the jail, even while in the lockup, Tilak did not stop. The Britishers may have arrested him, but his hands were still free to write. And so Lokamanya Tilak started writing the Bhagavad Gita. And in that dark prison, in that utter darkness, he wrote one of the greatest simplified version of Bhagavad Gita that could lighten up millions of lives who had faith in him, who followed him, and who loved him. And after many months and days, he completed the simplified version of Bhagavad Gita. And on that day, when he wrote the very last sentence of the book, his joy knew no bounds. There was no light in the prison. It was a dark room, but even in that darkness, Tilak could feel abundance of light flowing within his whole being. The book was completed and he was now ready to rest. But the British officers were very cruel people. The moment they realized that Lokamanya Tilak had scripted a book, they came and they burned the whole book. Just imagine what could have happened. How deeply the heart of Tilak would have moved with pain, seeing one of the greatest creation, his labor of love, being burned before his eyes. Just imagine, even as I share this with you, my eyes have become wet. But Tilak was Tilak. Looking at the ceiling of that dark prison and seeing the book burned by the cruel British officers, Tilak said in Marathi, Punasya Shri Ganeshaya, meaning, no problem, let me start all over again. That was how this great man was. What a heart, what a never give up attitude. How to express this? I am short of words. I am speechless. A beautiful incident from which we all can learn so much. I simply prostrate before his greatness. But the story does not end here. Lokamanya Tilak then started writing again, and after many months and days, he again completed the same book. And by then, his time to come out of the prison had come. He was finally released from the prison, and then it is said that the first man whom Tilak gifted this beautiful book, Bhagavad Gita, was Sai Baba. Sai Baba received the first copy written by Lokamanya Tilak, and Sai Baba blessed his book, and Tilak was touched. His eyes became wet. Very few words were shared between the two. When hearts connect, words are not required. The communication happens in silence. Real communication happens in silence, deep silence. Never tolerate injustice. Never tolerate discrimination. Never tolerate domination of others. And never try to change others, because others never change. Many have tried to change others and they all have failed miserably. Because you can never change the world, but you can change yourself. How to change yourself? That must be your next question. You can change yourself when you allow change to happen within you. And you will allow change to happen only when you are willing to change. You see, unless there is an intense willingness, you cannot change. And once you are willing to change, you are ready. Once the readiness evolves within you, then nobody can stop you from changing. Action comes not from our thoughts, but from our readiness to act, to change, to transform. And so never think and never wait for other to change. Rather, get ready to change yourself. Your husband, your mother-in-law, or your wife will never change. But you can change yourself. You can tame your mind, and you can be more understanding. When you love, you simply love. Then you cannot say that I accept half and the other half need to change. When you love someone, you have to accept that person wholeheartedly, completely, with all his or her good qualities as well as not so good qualities. But that is not what the husband or wife does. That is not what the girlfriend or boyfriend does. The moment they start living together, they start changing the other person, and then the whole essence of love is lost. Because love blossoms only when there is total acceptance, total freedom. That is why I always say that if your girlfriend or boyfriend, if your husband or wife is meditating, then you also should meditate. Otherwise, you will remain behind while your partner will move ahead on the higher altitudes, and then your wavelength cannot match. Then the friction will happen. Then the quarrels will begin. Relationship or marriage is like a boat in which both the husband and wife, boyfriend and girlfriend should balance the act by following same lifestyle. Only then the level of understanding between them remains the same, and as long as the level of understanding is the same, marriage or relationship continues to blossom. Understanding is not taught in any universities or schools. Understanding is something that one has to learn by turning inwards. Buddha says true love is born out of understanding. Changing yourself means scaling up the level of understanding within you. To understand everything is to forgive everything, says the Buddha. The more a person is understanding, the more you like him. The more a person can understand your feeling, the more you share with him. The more a person appreciates your sharing, the more you connect with him. You see, everything comes to that one word, understanding. And so, come you all and spend some time in meditation. The matters of this human world are very sensitive. You have to raise your awareness and become more understanding. And to raise your awareness, you all have to meditate. Meditation and understanding are synonymous. So when I say understand in meditation, I am saying to be silent, quiet, cool, and see. You are not to do anything else. You have to be just silent, cool, and calm, and you have to learn to see. And understanding arises on its own accord. It is the fragrance of being silent. Always remember, in life you will meet many strange people who will become jealous of your success, who will unnecessary for absolutely no reason will try to cause harm to you, will cause to disturb you, but you always have to remain aware. Never let the noise on the outside disturb your inner peace. Let go, relax, and get back home to the source. Always remember, nothing lasts forever. Change is constant. Except change, everything else changes. So just flow with your life. Be more understanding and remove the very thought of changing others, because others can never change, but you can change. Always when you pray, in your prayers you can say to God that God, grant me the serenity to accept the people I cannot change, the courage to change the one I can, and the wisdom to know it's me. Let this beautiful prayer be always with you all, for it can help you to become more and more understanding. Close your eyes and remember to meditate every day. Meditate and always remember you are not alone. Meditate.
Jai Sri Ganesha, Jai Guru. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha.